When the storm crawled over the ridge like a beast waking from sleep, Colt Avery already knew he'd made a mistake pushing cattle past sundown. The clouds weren't rolling. They were boiling, black and bruised looking, and the wind came in sudden slaps that made his horse jitter beneath him. He tugged on the reins, scanning the tree line for shelter, but there was nothing except the long stretch of wild grass and distant hills turning purple under lightning. He muttered, mostly to himself, "Just great." By the time the first thunder cracked, so sharp it shuddered the ground, rain came down in sheets, fast and heavy, drenching him in seconds. Colt wasn't afraid of storms, not usually, but this one had a nasty edge, like something angry was riding inside it. In the flashes of lightning he spotted old fence posts, sagging structures, and finally, a house, large, two-storied, with a wraparound porch and lamplight flickering behind wavy window glass. He didn't think twice. He pounded on the door so hard he feared it might splinter. The rain was already washing mud down the steps, thunder practically swallowing his breath when the latch clicked. The door slid open, and there they were. 3 women, near the same age, but different in a way that struck him immediately. The first, June, had sharp cheekbones and eyes that watched him with a kind of cool calculation, as though deciding whether he was worthy of standing on her porch at all. Lily hovered behind her, slight and quiet, with soft eyes that studied him like he was a riddle she might solve if she had enough time. Rose, round-cheeked and dusted in flour, looked like comfort itself. Warm hands, warm voice, warm smile. She smelled faintly of baked bread, even over the storm's damp chill. Colt removed his hat, water running off the brim. "I'm real sorry for botherin'. Storm caught me farther out than I planned. Just need a place to bunk for the night. I'll be gone by morning." June's brow arched. "Men usually say that." "June," Rose warned gently. "You're dripping wet. Come inside before you catch pneumonia." Though the house was old, the interior glowed with a lived-in warmth. Lamps flickering amber against weathered beams, a fire cracking in a large stone hearth. Quilts were stacked on a cedar chest, books spilled across tables, and something simmering in the kitchen gave the air a comforting spice. Colt set his saddlebag down, suddenly aware of how soaked he truly was. He expected suspicion, perhaps even questions, but instead Lily handed him a towel with quiet politeness. "Storms don't usually come this early in the season," she murmured. "No," June replied, still watching him with that unreadable gaze. "But things have a way of changing out here." He didn't know what she meant, not then. All he knew was he'd come looking only for shelter, but the moment those 3 women closed the door behind him, he felt, strangely, that something else had just begun. Colt woke to the smell of coffee and something sweet, maybe cinnamon, maybe apples. The storm had passed, leaving pale gold light sliding through lace curtains. For a moment, he forgot where he was. The quilt over him smelled faintly of lavender, and the room, though old, felt carefully tended, as if someone made sure every corner had purpose. When he walked into the kitchen, all 3 women were already at the long pine table. Rose was pulling biscuits from the oven, Lily slicing fruit, and June reading a newspaper with a crease of worry between her brows. "You sleep all right?" Rose asked, smiling like sunshine after a night of thunder. He removed his hat again. "Habit, respect. Hard not to. Warmest bed I've seen in months." June folded her paper. "So, you're a rancher passing through?" "Mostly," he answered carefully. "Looking for land. A place to settle." June and Lily exchanged a glance. Very quick, but Colt caught it. He ate quietly, grateful for the food, but there was something else simmering under the small talk. Something unsaid. By noon he tried to leave, but June stopped him on the porch. "You might want to reconsider heading out so soon," she said, staring toward the soaked fields. "Roads are mud. Rivers likely flooded." He hadn't thought of that. The sky was bright, but the land still held the storm. Rose tilted her head kindly. "It would be safer to stay until tomorrow." Lily stepped forward, voice soft. "We don't mind." He hesitated, but then nodded. Through the afternoon, he helped them with chores. The property was wide, bordered by old barns and fields that needed more hands than 3 women alone could manage. He mended broken fence boards, cleaned out the chicken pen, fixed a water trough that had collapsed under the storm's weight. He hadn't planned to stay more than one night, but the work felt strangely right, the kind his hands remembered even before he did. By evening, they stood together on the porch watching the wind ripple across grass. That was when the truth finally slipped out. June exhaled slowly. "This used to be a family ranch. But after our parents passed, the place became too much. We've been close to losing it." Rose looked down, wringing her apron. "We don't want to leave, but we can't do it alone." Lily added, voice delicate, "We just need help. Someone responsible. Someone honest." Colt understood then. Their plans had nothing to do with traps or schemes. Just survival, hope, and fear of watching their home crumble. He watched the sky fade to purple and felt something unexpected settle in his chest. Purpose, maybe. Peace, maybe. He wasn't sure. "I only came looking for a place to sleep," he said softly. "Didn't expect to find anything more." June met his gaze, eyes fierce and hopeful all at once. "Sometimes," she said, "life brings the right person at the right time." And Colt Avery, who'd been wandering for years, realized he might have finally reached the place he was meant to stay.